So that's something to keep an eye on, as both of those, the first, our top three get paid, and our top kill leader gets a little bit of something in his pocket as well. So here we go. We're going down to Miramar. We've got a fairly easy plane, northeast to southwest.
Yep,
we'll call it traditional.
Yeah, this one's pretty fair, about as fair as these planes get. I mean, if you want to go Puerto Paraiso, you can't. But you can. But it's hard. What most teams do these days is they kind of have two different drops on Miramar, right? If a lot of teams, they either go Puerto Paraiso or Valle del Mar, for example. So it's fine if you want to go Pozo or Cobreria. That should be pretty doable with the way the roads shape up, and the vehicles should be available. So overall, this should be nothing too crazy, I would think. But then I say that, and then these teams like to get it on early. So
yeah, there is no such thing as nothing too crazy when it comes to the early game here in Onslaught League, because we have seen a lot of early fighting throughout all maps, really. Surprisingly, this time only seeing one team go over to Monte Nuevo, but look at this. We're going to have Ferox and BAE dropping right on top of Power Grid together. Loki's looks like he might have an angle on Grumps, gets him down to about half HP, but he's not going to be able to find the down just yet.
Yeah, Loki's is in a bit of a precarious position, though. If Ferox can get a good angle on top of him, they can pretty much box him in over there. But Loki's, I think, very aware of that, trying to out a little bit. But Badman's going to give him some help getting the knock on a Grumps from over in the bread building. We're going northwest again with this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of this circle, just because of how the plane worked out, is unoccupied. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Meanwhile, Grumps is down. Badman trying to push in. He might have spotted Nikos, avoid the line of sight for the moment. Nick 101 has a little bit of a flank position, but BAE pushing this hard, as I believe this is the same fight that happened yesterday. I know BA Elites got pushed in this compound, and they ended up losing quite a couple of players here, I think. And we'll have to see how this fight works out. Nico's going to go down to Loki's with the AK. Grumps gets flushed out. Nikos gets flushed out. Actually, no, Grumps going down again. Head kick's going to go down. And Ferox is just falling apart here.
Yeah, I think they're just going to have to send Nick 101 on his way. Nick was trying to get in the flank position, wasn't able to get there in time to really help his teammates, and now it's a 4v1, and he could get this. I don't think Loki's knows. Loki's does not. He did get a headshot in there, so that's a big deal. Nick 101 very low, as Company Man and the others are running up on in.
Does get the flush, though, and that is what you wanted to avoid at all costs if you were BA Elites. Loki's maybe just a little bit of a lapse in judgment there, as he just started running. Meanwhile, we got another fight breaking off here. Victim Rye is going to spot out Boss from Victim FTF. So a little bit of sister team early game action here.
Yeah, this is a little surprising over by team to see teams kind of. Usually there isn't a whole lot of fighting. Sometimes people will fight over Hacienda because there is quite a bit of valuable real estate on that part of the circle, because there's a lot of places you can set up traps and other various things to do damage. But right now, yeah, they're just going to pick that kill up and move on their way for now as they reposition up to the top to do a little more looting. And now we're already seeing some teams think about making their way into the circle. You can see FTF is already sending somebody out there way on the far end to see what they can do to get into the circle.
Yeah, keeping an eye on our teams that are PGS qualified. Cerberus, Golden Cat, Buriram, Archangel Predator, and to a lesser extent, Fury and Ferox qualified for the PGS NA qualifiers. This is stuff that you're not going to get away with in international play, ever. You've got to be more careful about your drop zone. You've got to be more aware of how close you are to other teams, and you've got to have the ability to, pull off, go somewhere else. If you see that you're dropping on top of somebody, just don't. Or if you're a solo player, just know that there's somebody nearby and that there's every possibility that you could get crashed on. Always keep an eye out for those vehicles, because we're seeing just way too many solo players dying early for no reason.
Yeah, it is. It's something you don't see as much when you start getting to the bigger stages. The teams have a lot more time to kind of, I'd say maybe just because sometimes you're trying to figure each other out, or you're, oh boy, Savior, you got to get out. That thing was almost dead. There is not much else you can do except just leave that vehicle and get on your horse and go. It's hard when you get to the international stage in a way because obviously the lobby is so stacked with so many good teams. But the advantage you do have is that you do have a lot of scrims usually when you get to the majors. So you can have at least a little bit of time to figure some of that stuff out. But yeah, you're still right. It shouldn't be happening as much as it is.
Well, take a page out of the BA Next playbook there as Savior hears the crash coming from Archangel Predator, immediately gets into his vehicle and gets out of there. And even though he was taken down to half health and he lost his UAS, he's still alive. And BA Next still have 4 up. So that is the ideal situation there.
Yeah, Cerberus just getting up on the high ground, getting information on the southeast part of the circle. I mean, I tell you what, though, if you're BA Next, if they can hold this split that they have, it's good. I mean, they have the compound to the southeast of Pozo. That's pretty. They're out in the field right now, but they might be able to get out of that. And then they've got the mountains up to the east of Pozo. If they can hold it, that's a big if. That's a really difficult split. Rain's actually coming in to pick up the other 2 members of his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Is going to be interesting to see how BA Next decides to play this going forward. They had kind of priority on anywhere they wanted. They decided to try to do, I think they were trying to do a split between where Mad Dog is and CJ is, and the top of that hill, which is one that we see quite a bit, the compound just north of Mondo Nuevo, but ends up not to be. So they have a backup plan. They're going to go over to Pozo, and that's not that bad of a backup plan as we wait and see where this next circle decides to go. Everybody making their way in. Buriram sticking with their strategy. Just actually, that's not Buriram. I'm sorry, that's Made in Thailand. All the way to the south. They're going to eat a little bit of blue as they come in slowly. Buriram, you can see actually over there on the eastern edge, just now making it in over by GEX Ace.
Yeah, the circles have been often away from Buriram to start out with, so they've had to make some late entrances in, and they've had mixed success with it. It's of course harder when you have to be in those situations. Company Man just pops a shot down in onto VTF.
4 kills already for BAE.
Yeah, they roasted Ferox. Ferox is just not able to. Yeah, they just the early game is a struggle for them, Boro, to say the least.
Yeah, BA Elites has just been having. They've been forced to fight early and often on both maps. Really, yesterday their compound that they liked to loot just to the east of Quarry was getting crashed early and often by I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Archangel Predator. Anyway, they were fighting early for that, and now they've had to fight for this power grid spot on Miramar. So BA Elites just nothing is coming easy for them so far.
Yeah, sometimes things just don't go your way. You're just constantly running into trouble in a tournament. They had a 2-day format like this. 10 games is what you have to work with. So you can't win them all, and just got to try to work on things, get better as time goes on. That's really what you're looking to do at this point. Where are we going? Right where this one belongs, the southeast part of Pozo. And like you were mentioning, AAP, they've got one of the most desired compounds inside this circle.
Oh, absolutely. They've got a fantastic split right now between the 2 of them. The only thing they got to worry about is Golden Cat. That is a crash that comes in quite a bit from those hillsides. So they'll have to keep an eye up there, make sure that their duo off to the east can provide a little bit of support for the duo off to the west. As Levi is going to come up over the top, and he's not going to land but one shot into Juxi, and he's actually going to hit the tree with his grenade too. So that probably could have gone a lot better for Levi's.
Yeah, you don't see Levi's miss sprays that are, I don't want to say easy. It's hard with the 4X. It was a bit further away, but that was He didn't do too much damage there at all to Juxie, and then he gets backed off immediately by Luke 12. So that's going to send Juxie back at least. So it's going to open up some space for Divine. So he accomplishes that. Probably would have loved to have gotten that knock, but it was not meant to be that time.
He's definitely going to feel like he was robbed of that one, but maybe he can redeem himself later on. Meanwhile, Victim FTF, they're taking the hillside here. You can see BA next. This was the mountaintops just to the east of El Pozo that we were looking at BA next taking, but they've done this really wide 1-1-1-1 split with 2 inside El Pozo, 2 on the mountains, Rain right here, and he's got bites off to his north. So if they get full crash, he's going to have to be careful about any shots that he might want to take here and make sure he doesn't overexpose himself. But next, gaining a lot of information about what's going on around them.
Yeah, definitely next. The split is large for this kind of circle. And again, if they can hold it, it should be pretty good. Sadie's is trying to come around the western edge of El Pozo along the rock cliff here, and they will probably be okay for a little while. They're going to push down. You can see that's GC in front of them, the Golden Cats up ahead. So how far are they going to push down into that? I don't expect the Golden Cats to let them get too much further in. I think UKL has the information on top of that hill and is feeding it back to his fellow teammates.
I was going to say, hopefully they don't push any farther than UKL can see here, as it looks like Yuri and KJ are going to go to the other side of the street. So let's do a little bit of a 2-2 as we check here on Archangel Predator, still pinned down in their compound by a combination of Cerberus and Victim Rise. Although it looks like Victim Rise and Cerberus are the ones trading shots back and forth right now. Algenbots and Killa, this is the western half of the 2-2 split from Archangel. And it looks like Killa actually hopping in a vehicle. I'm not sure if he's just repositioning that or if they're wanting to maybe collapse onto the other location.
I'm not sure.
It looks like Killa's actually sending it. I understand getting the vehicle ready and waiting for when this next circle pops so that you can be in it and ready to go if need be. But he's just kind of driving around right now, so we'll see where the circle goes. All right, we're going to go up north, and it's a good thing that he didn't leave, because now Mad Dog and the other Archangel Predator player that I cannot see right now are going to have to make their way over to them.
You don't see the circle shift up this way too often.
This is weird.
Yeah,
this is definitely weird.
There's a lot of mountain in this circle, and so that's going to be really fascinating. Actually really liking now Next's position covering that western edge of the circle. If they can hold it down, it will pay dividends for them as the game goes on. Buriram's getting really finally a little bit of luck to go their way, as they've got the eastern side of that circle completely locked up. The middle is where I have questions. This battle right here. Gex Ace. Finally, there's 4 up still. They get 2 with a good grenade and a spray from Onslaught.
Good stuff coming out from Gex Ace. But Life is going to get immediately traded back here as they're trying to make their way around. They're trying to push around these mountain edges. They also have BA next. They also have Golden Cat pushing right on top of this. So this mountain is getting very, very precarious, as so many teams deciding to fight over. And it looks like Lockslock might just be deciding to get on out of this, as the rest of the Gex Ace boys have already left. Golden Cat going to come up on top. They might be they might find the last member of FTF here, Mon, but it looks like they're being kept at bay from a distance here.
Great timing and decision making from Lockslock. Got to give him some credit. Got to give the Ace boys some credit. They knew that was going to fall apart. They have the angle from McCrit to cover the escape. Easy. Don't take any damage, and then you can get a reposition somewhere. Probably up on the hill with McCrit is what I would do. Is where I would send. Lockslock should be a-okay to do that, and you can move on from there.
And here we have a push on the southeastern side of the circle. 4 horsemen running into the duo of Victim Rise. Looks like the other members of Victim Rise are going to come back and provide some support here, and they're going to turn this into a full 4v4, as Gems not finding an angle just yet. Jayers and Job Jab off in the distance, trying to see if they can spot ahead through the window but not seeing anything just yet, as this fight seems to have stalled out a little bit. We'll have to see if Victim Rise decides to maybe be the aggressor in this one now that they've got all four. But no, Botba's going to come up over the top, but not going to get the down. He's going to try to go in with the follow-up grenade and see if he can land it.
And look who's lurking on the outside of all of this. Buriram. Oh, he sees the head. That's going to be a knock. Nice spray control by Botfos to get Genfos. Gems is taking a bunch of damage from grenades as he is trying to find some way outside of that little garage. Cerebus in the meanwhile is on the edge of the circle here, so they're trying to find some way to get in. Fury has leapfrogged up in front of them.
Sorry, Chad, having a little bit of technical difficulty with my stream. We're lagging pretty bad, so if we were off time, well, I just disconnected and reconnected, and it looks like we're okay here. So Jayers has gone down as QC Gems going to come out and finish off that kill. They might be able to get the res here, but I'm not sure where the rest of Victim Rise is. It looks like they're just holding position, holding ground here. Samoy, Genfos getting the res off Kamals. They're all on the upper level, and this fight taking a while to play out here.
This feels like it's been going on for half the match so far. The problem for both of these teams is once this is over, they're completely surrounded. Oh, Canaxi, why are you doing them dirty like that, my man? Speaking of doing dirty, Company Man on top of Yuri. Sadie trying to get up the hill. Nice turn, but not good enough by Company Man. He's going to get flushed out.
Oh, Company Man, that is unfortunate. He got the first one, had no idea that the other boy was right there. And he comes over the top and loses the 1v1. BAE now down to 2. Let's cut back to this fight between QC and VTR. As Botba's going to try to get another shot. He's going to get the Samoy down. Genfos, the last player up, I believe, for VTR, just hiding. He's going to get the down onto somebody. I can't even tell who's who right now. I can't read names. Oh, it's driving me crazy. But either way, QC 4 Horsemen going to win the team fight there with Victim Rise, and that is no small task.
No. That was really well done by them. Really well done by the 4 Horsemen, and VTR had a good position in there as well. They were up on top to start with, and they're able to bust on through over to Myth, who's trying to get in on this action on the side of this hill. Now, Escaliza is revived. Tonk got a knock onto him with a bolt action. I saw a good spray by Duckmans. Nothing too surprising there. This guy should be the one that you would expect to get some work done for his team. The Molotov coming up and over. That's just going to buy them a little bit of time. You can see he's going for smoke. He's just trying to get his team up the hill at this point. He isn't too interested in picking up that kill. And in fact, Tonk just gets on the vehicle and bops on out.
Yeah, gotta wonder why Golden Cat was trying to hold that as hard as they were when they've already had sent 2 into a better position into a compound inside the circle. Maybe just trying to hold that a little bit too long. Fortunately, they only end up losing 1 in the process, as it could have been much worse. Made in Thailand, meanwhile, has taken the high ground here on the western side. Meanwhile, you can see the cluster that we have going here on the south side as the circle is pushing in. QC, Cerberus, Divine, Archangel, Predator, Fury, all within feet of each other.
Yeah, coming down this hill, going towards the road outside of Power Grid, it is not fun. And there are so many teams down here. At this point, you just got to win a bunch of fights. You're trying to do the best you can. Now, Subang looks over. He's going to steal that one, get a kill for himself. Blue is on top of him. He's looking to see if he can find any other members of those gray teams at his feet. Meanwhile, the Fury boys are going to try to third-party this. They're popping on down. Subang trying to back them off as best as he can, but he's the last one up for Cerberus.
Yeah, Fury in the perfect spot right here to third party this. They got the inside circle position, and now they're just coming up over the top and just cleaning up shop. And that's going to be Cerberus going down as well. They still have 1 member of Archangel Predator, I believe. CJ, yeah, just barely makes it in, avoiding the line of sight from the rest of Fury. But you can see the new circle has popped, and they've got ways to go. They've got to get to the other side of the road, essentially. I mean, there's a little bit of the southern part of the road inside still, but it's going to be tough sledding here. You can see BA Elite and Sadie's sharing that compound just up to the north of Buriram.
How in the world did Sadie's get into that compound? I got to go back and watch this. They were way over on the western side. The rotations they made, they were behind GC. I mean, GC did end up sending it up into the top of the mountain there, but interesting stuff. They're still 4 up.
Yeah, I believe they may have crashed into the compound. BAE might have been trying to hold it with a 2-2. They end up losing 2. That's what I assume happened. As we see victim FTF will get eliminated there by Buriram. Buriram's still 4 strong, and they hold a ton of real estate on the eastern side of this circle and the center of this circle. Basically, everybody is off to their west right now, as Arbiter is going to find Batman, and BAE now down to 1.
Yeah, BAE is kind of getting torn to shreds inside of these compounds, just not able to hold them. You can see Buriram putting damage into Fury. Fury outside the circle, trying to find some way to get in. They're going to need, one way or another, they're going to need to use a lot of utility to get across that road, potentially, depending on how well Sadie's and BAE are able to cover it. But it looks like right now, Juxie's just going to full send it across the road. Nobody's really watching him other than, I think that's Noradra from Buriram.
Yeah, Buriram, only 1 kill so far, but they're in a really good position. The only thing is they have so much area to watch here. They want to make sure that they don't get wrapped around on. And I think Godmau is kind of in position to make sure that MSC doesn't come up behind him. That's going to be Rain going down to Tongke, as Golden Cat now up to 4 kills. They're making their way through BAX, as I believe it's just down to 2 for them.
Yeah, they're coming up on the side here, and let's see if Tongke can find another head.
Oh my God.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That is filthy. Absolutely filthy.
Gonna do M0 like that. K-Byte's gonna try to make his way over. It looks like he might be considering going for the res. Tongke wants to go for the flush, though, as he is gonna pull up right on top of the hill, see if he can maybe find an angle. Can you see him? Can't see him just yet. M0 does get rezzed, though.
Does he hear it? He's got to know that they're below underneath a ledge. And he knows he didn't get the finish onto M0. Yeah. Where's the rest of his team? Are they just fighting off other teams like in front of them?
I think they were trying to follow him, but they were getting shot at by Sadie's, so they kind of got slowed down a little bit. Tongke, yep, they've joined him up now. And now look at this. Tongke going to come over the side. Will he see them? Oh, he sees ahead. Jankyu going to be the first one to spot him, though. Gets him down to 13 HP. And Golden Cat going to have to pull off. And it's a good thing he did, too, because that was a good follow-up nade. As here comes the blue. BA next, already in it. They're already low. M0, he's going to go down. Oh, no, he's going to make it just in. Yeah, Maxone is going to clean that one up all day long.
Yeah, there was just not much else that Next could go for there. No, this is good for GC. They're able to cover that angle. They can't go the other way. MSC has that way too locked down. As you can see, they're going to get a knock on a 6 sacks. Tongke doing absolute work with that Car 98. I just saw him get another headshot in the feed. BRU is going to help relieve some of that pressure as they get a knock onto Yoshimanburi. Back over to Fury, trying to push through. They have basically crossed the road. And now they're going to have to get through a full Sadie squad.
Well, Fury getting very lucky that BAE was the one holding the compound to the street side. So it was just Nephor kind of preventing them or holding them at bay. But Nephor and Naradra. But Nephor being the solo player, not going to be taking the shots. Meanwhile, Yelly going to be the last one up. He's going to get spotted out by Edie. As Buriram, now they're starting to collect some kills for themselves, as they're starting to clean things up.
Well, Buriram, all they need to do is keep 1 or 2 guys watching these compounds, let these people fight it out, clean out the entire rest of the circle, and then you basically have given yourself a really nice win condition. Luke kicking it off against Sadie's, and there's Tongke. Tongke is absolutely wrecking people.
The guy's bananas. He's absolutely bananas, as he is listening for the footsteps of MSC. Jankyu looks like he might be trying to go for a res here. Meanwhile, Yoshimanburi working the edge. Looks like Fury is going to spot out Nephor. They'll get the down, but Nephor will trade it. So that's going to slow down Fury for a little bit here. Oh no, Yoshi. Tongke is going to go down to Yoshimanburi. And now they got the res off. They can turn their attention over to Buriram, who's pushing with 3 strong, leaving Naradra to keep an eye on the compounds.
Yeah, this might have been a little bit of an overextension from Buriram now. They wanted to clean this out as best as they could. It just didn't happen very fast. Things just kind of kept shifting away from them. And I think Sadie's might have had a little bit of angle on some of them as well, as now Buriram realizes it, and they're going to back off and try to just secure their position in the circle. Sadie's and Fury going at it. Looks like Yoshiman Buri hears those shots, and he wants to get in on that if possible. But there wasn't really much for him to see there.
Well, I said that Buriram was going off. They still only have 2 kills. It feels like they were doing a lot more damage than that, but they still have the good positioning. As you can see, there's still 13 alive. That's 9 kills left for. Oh my God, Naradra. Right into the face of Rossadid, as now Janky is going to try to make the run, and he's going to run into the wrecking ball as Buriram. Yoshiman Buri, what can you do? You've got to go the same way. He's got a little bit of ledge to work with right now. But how long can he stay here before he eventually has to either move or gets pushed by the blue?
Yeah, Yoshi's hope is that somebody else tries to bop Buriram in the nose so he can go for it, but it's too late at this point. The circle's coming up behind him, and I think he's just going to eat the blue and just, maybe heal it out as long as he can. But at this point, it's all but over for him.
Oh my God, Naradra doing work from that high ground position, and actually Edie going to spot out Yoshi as well, so they'll get that kill. But Naradra single-handedly holding players at bay inside these compounds while the rest of Buriram cleans up what's coming out to the north. Sadie's does manage to leave their compound and get into the hills. Meanwhile, Fury is pinned down by Naradra, and now he's got support. So let's see what they can do.
This is excellent work by Buriram. You got to give a ton of credit to Naradra holding that position down for them. When you can rely on one player to do something like that, that's when you can open up a ton of space for your team, really get some stuff done. Sadie's smokes are starting to come out. The heals are in the circle. Not too surprising. Pretty much just going to center up. And now can anyone get Buriram outside of their just really, really wonderful position? A good grenade is going to find UKL, and this is looking pretty dire for these other 2 teams.
Where was this Sadie's team yesterday? I mean, they've had great games today, and it's just like it's a night and day difference from what they were able to put together yesterday. I mean, like I said, every team does have bad days, but I mean, it's one thing to, finish in dead last with 0 points, and then another thing entirely to turn around in the same exact lobby and then constantly keep finding yourself in the top 5.
Exactly. It's really surprising to just have a 0-point day and then have games like today. Exactly what you were saying. They're just always finding ways in, and they're making good movements and good rotations and getting kills here and there. So looks just completely different. All right, God Meow. There are smokes here for Fury, but the circle is here as well, and I don't know what they can do. There's just a whole lot of nothing. There's nothing.
They're just going to go down to blue here, and that's going to be 2 points denied from Buriram. But and that's actually smart from Fury, because I think they have to realize Buriram is one of the teams that might be chasing them, as the utility's going to come out. KJ's going to go down. Yuri's going to go down. UKL, the last one up, and Godmouth